What's up, world? So, this one's going to be probably mad controversial, or maybe not, depending on who watches it and who the hell cares. But this one's probably personal to a lot of people who kind of like me and speak like I do. What? Sorry, I just saw something crazy. But, necessarily, this one's more targeted towards honesty being the best policy, which I've always subscribed to because I'm probably one of the most honest people I can think of. And as far as a few others, but I can't name all those people. I can only just speak for me. But reason I'm speaking of honesty is because of the fact that when you are speaking from an honest perspective, from an honest belief, no matter how honest it is, because I know me, I'm like brutally honest. Yeah, like when I say brutally honest, I know whatever I'm probably saying is probably going to end up probably pissing somebody off or getting them all emotional or wanting to react in almost a physical way. Because believe it or not, words are powerful. No matter what anyone says, I mean, words just sometimes it can fly in your ear and go out the other. I mean, if you're like me, who don't really get affected like that with certain words, I mean, depending on who it comes from, that's another thing. Because I mean, I just don't have anybody just say anything to me and think it's not gonna disrespect me because I'm all about respect. That's one of the first things that's pretty much in my moral compass is respect first. You give it first, I give it back. That's just how I do. But when you say certain words to people, it's going to piss them off necessarily because it may offend them, it may hurt them, it may make them ball in tears, it may make them do shit that's way out of character. Yeah, because just certain words that you put out there that aren't meant to be said, but it depends on what that situation is. If that word applies, I mean, for example, if you say the word bitch, like you may have said that to like a dude or whatever who may have disrespected you or whatever. You may have said that to a woman who thought disrespected you. In that sense, yeah, it may apply. But if you said it to somebody who's necessarily not participating in that sort of behavior or doesn't exemplify what that word is defined as, then yeah, of course, I mean, you have to act accordingly to somebody who may have said that word to you and respond in the best way you know possible. If you say the word faggot, it's the same exact thing. And I know I've said that plenty of times, but I mean, I wasn't always referring to somebody who was a gay person. I mean, I may have just said it to somebody who just someone I wasn't really fucking with at that time because hell, I've said that word probably more times than I can repeat. I mean, I have a grandfather who still says that word to this day, and he carries a piece all the time, so he's not worried about somebody attacking him or anything because my grandfather just rolls like that. That's just how he is. Yeah. But I never said it in a way that came up as maliciously or just said it without prior thought to doing it first because I was always taught to think before I speak or think before I act because that way of training yourself to be a lot more, I guess, restrictive in what your actions and your words become. It can kind of lead you out of situations that could possibly lead to the end of your life possibly getting seriously injured to where you're just suffering for the rest of your life until you die. Yeah. But I mean, well, now we're in a time where being honest necessarily isn't the best policy, because now it can just get you in trouble, even though you were really just saying what you feel. Because everybody's trying to be so PC and pretty much trying to put this whole society into like a feminist, I guess, direction, or direction to where everybody just has to be nice to everybody. And you gotta think, before like this transition to making everything feminine, like, I mean, there was sort of like masculine paradigm, I guess, at the same time, that necessarily was good and bad at the same time, but at least everyone was not in the mind frame of thinking, I have to keep this person to like me in order to respect me. So that's basically what this generation is, as far as like popular culture and everything is concerned. I mean, because that's why I still have an issue with social media, because everybody's just trying to get so much fucking attention all at the one time, to where they need their self-esteem to be at a very high status, because they're trying to get everyone on their side. They're trying to get everyone to like them for them, even though I think at that same time they don't even know who they are to even have somebody like them for them, which is why they're doing some of the shit that they do in order to just get popularity, or get attention, and get fame, and then probably end up in somebody's couch talking about they may have got like molested or some shit like that, because they didn't deal with the issues that they had before. I mean, not to give that example, but that's just something that I think a lot of people are doing in order to cover up their faults, instead of just dealing with their faults at first and then trying to heal afterwards. Because like I said, at the end of the day, honesty really is the best policy, because if you're more honest with yourself than anyone else, no one can pretty much tell you anything about you but you. I mean, then pretty much nothing is stopping you. Yeah, like I said in an earlier video, we only get like one lifetime, and we gotta make it the best that we have. And you gotta say to yourself that you were always who you wanted to be, because you could look yourself in the mirror and say, I know who that is. I know who that person can be, who that person is, who that person is known to everyone else, because you have that truth of the kind of person that you envision, I guess, from maybe when you were little to like where you are as an adult. And hopefully, if you keep that same vision in mind, staying true to yourself, thinking of the words you say in certain situations. I mean, now this don't apply to everybody, because of the fact that maybe they're in a position where they can't necessarily be honest. I mean, especially if you're in like a certain work area and you have like maybe a certain coworker you just want to beat the shit out of or some shit like that. But because I mean, if you're in that high profile environment, then yeah, somebody had to keep your mouth shut a little bit just to keep the money flowing. I understand that completely. But you don't have to compromise who you are so much to where you don't realize the person you're looking at in the mirror every day isn't necessarily somebody you're familiar with. That's basically just my whole point on being honest about yourself, being honest to others. But I don't know. That's just my way of thinking. May not be everybody's cup of tea, but that's not the whole point. It's mine, not yours. And on that note, peace.